No matter how long it's been since the game came out, I always find myself coming back to Fallout 4. I guess there's something so appealing about a nuclear wasteland that's riddled with unforgiving enemies that will kill you at first sight. And it's not like I'm gonna play a different Fallout game.
This game sucks.
I launch a new game, and I'm sure you've seen the intro segment hundreds of times, so I'll just summarize it for you.
War never changes. In the year 1945, like bombs, it is now the year 2077. War.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
Vault-Tec calling.
Blinding flashes.
Run.
We're on the list.
Oh my god!
This is one of our most advanced facilities.
I'll find who did this. Giant roaches? What happened here?
Enjoy your return to the surface.
And there you have it, Fallout 4. Imagine. Man, it is bright out here. Thankfully, when my eyes adjust, I'm conveniently positioned to see the wasteland. Oh, look at the calamity. Anyway, I return home and meet good old Codsworth. I ask him if he's okay. Not because I care for him, just so I can get the XP. He has a mental breakdown. Like, come on man, you need to lock in. We search the neighborhood for the little one, and he's not here. What a surprise. Well, I guess I'll go check Concord. On my way there, I meet the greatest character, maybe ever. We fight a couple of mole rats and head down to the town. I hear a couple of gunshots, so obviously I run straight to them. I kill a couple of raiders on the outside, and then make my way into the building and take out a couple more. I make my way around to go and get the fusion core. I go to hack the terminal and... Game? Hello? Hey look, it's fixed. It's not like I had to exit the game and go back to my only preview save, which was all the way back in the vault. No, that would never happen. The only bugs this game has are these ones, right? Now that I have the fusion core, I clear out the rest of the raiders and talk to the second greatest character of all time. I know how much you all love him.
I got word of a settlement that needs our help.
We talk and Sturgis tells me his power armor plan, so I go on the roof and get in. I then magically just make the minigun appear in my hands and get to fighting some more raiders. While I was fighting them, this Deathclaw just comes out of the sewers. I don't know how or why he was down. Stop! Whoa. Okay, Todd. I'll stop. I remember the first time I fought this thing was absolutely terrifying. And now, I just cheese it by standing in the corner store. I go back and talk with Preston, and he thanks me for my help and gives me some bottle caps. Logically, the sole survivor would have no idea the old psychic Mama Murphy tells me that my son is alive. I don't ask any questions as to how she would know, but she tells me that I should start looking at the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. I leave the Museum of Freedom and head back to Sanctuary. I build a bed there and lie down for a well-deserved rest. I talk to Preston and tell him that I lived here 200 years ago. He says, okay, and then tells me there's a settlement that needs my help. Before I go help these people though, I start the Sanctuary cleanup. Once I'm done scrapping basically everything, I build a couple of beds and defenses so Sturgis will be happy. I guess I might as well go help that settlement now. So I start the long journey across the wasteland. While I'm traveling, I come across a satellite station. I head inside, probably just because I want to shoot some guys, but I end up as a guy being shot. This is where I start regretting playing on survival difficulty. I start the journey to the settlement again. This time, I don't even go close to the station. I come across this guy walking around with this dog. He says that he's selling it, and I eventually agree to buy it, but then he says he doesn't want to sell it anymore. What an odd guy. I then come across a legendary wild mongrel. I get the jump on it, but it turns around and sends me flying halfway across the map. You know what they say, third time's the charm. This time I head across the Wasteland and ignore both the satellite station and the junkyard with the dogs. I randomly come across this dog just standing around, so I help her out and continue on my journey. I'm such a great guy. It only took a couple hundred years, but I finally made it. I talk to the settlers, who tell me about their raider problem. After fighting a bunch of ghouls and raiders, I make it to the building. The raiders there spot me, so I run around the building and find a secret entrance. I find my way through the building and make sure that there is no one left before I go fight the boss. I then find a bed there and sleep in the middle of this enemy base. Who wouldn't? I go upstairs and release a protection, and then my game did not crash there. Bethesda makes games that have 0 bugs. I go back upstairs and release a protectron again. I then clean up the rest of the raiders, and that's the job done. But I'm not done yet. I have to take out the rest of the raiders outside the building first. So I do that and return to the settlement. They thank me for my help, and I journey back to Sanctuary. I tell Preston about my success with the settlers, and he says, "You know, I've only known you for a couple hours now, but I'm gonna make you the leader of the Minutemen." Okay. He tells me of another settlement that needs my help. Shocker. But that will have to wait, 'cause now I'm heading to Diamond City. But before I leave, I have to convince Mama Murphy to go clean. She agrees, and I do a little jig for her. And now I can set off for Diamond City. On my way, I find these people holding up a store owner. I tell them to stop pointing their guns at me, but then they start a fight, so I have to put them down. I continue to the jewel, but I'm distracted when my radio picks up a distress signal. I go to help out and meet Paladin Dance. He seems a little odd, and I wonder if he's hiding anything. No, he would never. I go with him to Arcjet Systems and have my first encounter with synths. Dance gets stuck fighting a bunch of them in the engine room, so I just sit there and watch for a while. I mean, it's free fusion cells. I then activate the engine and somehow Dance survives. We complete the mission and head back to the police station. I go to leave the station and no! Dogman! What happened? Never mind, he's fine. I make a huge mistake and forget to sleep on one of the beds at the police station. You can see me contemplating going back to save, but I decide against it. I make it to the outside of Diamond City, and the guards are fighting some super mutants. I join them, but I keep missing my shots, and they end up killing me. That means I just lost all of the progress I made with Dance and clearing out Arcjet. I decide there is no way I'm gonna do that again, so I head straight for Diamond City. I meet Piper at the gate, and she uses me to get the door open. Not a very good first impression. I then meet the very busy mayor and enter the city. I made it. The Great Green Jewel. That's obviously just the start of the game, so if you want to see another video on it, you can like and subscribe. And always remember, Fallout 4 is a perfect game with no bugs.